Hi, so in the last video we looked at the mouse controls, and we did one. We registered the mouse click event, and we saved the which mouse button we clicked on and the position of the mouse. So in this video I want to look at keyboard and see what we got for keyboard. Alright, so the last thing we did was we were able to click this and move it around. In this next one, keyboard is again in these events. So what we'll do is we'll click game events here, and we'll have a look at what's available in this form. That's already kind of set. So we got key down, key press, key up. All right, so we've got some of these things here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have a look at key press. Have a look at key press to see what key press has. E dot. So key press is specifically designed for things such as typing. Like if you want to type, type letters. It's more useful for letters. Key char, right? It's good. It's useful for kind of doing some typing. All right. Probably not the one I want at the moment. Let's have a look again. What else we got? We've got key down and key up. I'll do key down. Key down is probably the one I want. This is the one where we can, go up, down, left, right arrow keys here. And let's have a look at E dot. So this one over here has, it's got key code. It's kind of the one I like to use. And also it tells you whether you hold Shift or Alt. So it's got all the other ones, whereas this one's kind of the alphabet. Like it's more related to the alphabet and all your symbols, whereas this one's related to pretty much a lot of the key presses that you need in your game. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go what we'll do is we'll do some console write lines, and we'll see what numbers it registers as I press different keys. E dot key code. Okay. All right. So we'll run. So we'll look at output here, and we'll have a look. So I'll press a few buttons, and we'll see what happens. All right. So move off to the side. Now what I'll do is I'll press the up arrow and see what happens. So the up arrow is a 38. Do you see that? So you can kind of have a look at what kind of these keys. Down arrow is 40. The left arrow is 39, and the right arrow is 39. The left arrow is 37. So up, down, left, up, down, right, left. What about if I went W? If I want to control my game with the W ASD. So W is 87, S is 83, right is 68, and left is 65, or rather A is 65. So these are pretty much ASCII numbers. If you're not familiar with ASCII, they're related to, let me just do a Google search for ASCII, some ASCII code. Let's have a look at ASCII code. Let's go into kind of a table for ourselves. Any table. So if I got a table here, okay, you probably can't see it on the screen, but I can just read it out. Where we go. So over here, what do we got? What do we got here? 80s. What's W for 87? So W for 87 there. So it's registering the uppercase. So you just look at the ASCII there. All right. So now that I know what's what, let's make this thing move around this room. Let's make it move left and right. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of the automatic moving around thing. I'll keep the teleport. This is our teleport, mouse click teleport, right? But I don't need this anymore. And what we'll do is we'll register key press. Okay, we'll register a key press. Alright, so how do we get it out to this game of ours. Get it out to this game of ours. So what we could do is we could set up a bit of a space for ourselves. What I'll do is I'll set up a dictionary. So we're going to set up a dictionary of our keys and the keys that we press. So key pressed, right? And we're going to make this a dictionary. Now, if you don't know what a dictionary is a, you know, it's you can use keys as your index. You index with certain like names, and we want to know whether we've pressed something, whether it's true or false. So we can go boolean as our value, and our key is, you know, whatever key we're pressing. Equals new dictionary. You don't have to do this, but it's just a lot easier to do. I think it's just a lot easier if you set this up early for our game framework. It's the way I like to do it. All right, so key press. So when we press a key, we want to add to the dictionary that key we press is true. All right. So in here we would go key pressed, the key code, add the key code that we e.key code, and we're going to set that to true. Set that to true. All right. So add key code. Sorry, wrong way of doing it. True, because it's the first time I'm adding it. All right. So when we click on this is true. When this is true, we can now register in our game that we want to check if a key code is true. So let's go over here. If key pressed, which key code we want? Key code 38. 38 is up. If this is pressed, then if it's true, so go is true. Let's make this go. Let's go x equals x plus 1, or x plus maybe well 1. Alright, so if it's true, if this thing is true, we'll go 1. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's right. And of course, when you first start the game, if we haven't clicked on it and it's trying to check for that, it's not going to work. So it's not. This kind of complicating it. So really, we should check. Oh, it's not good. We've got to set up a better way of doing this. It's okay. So what we'll do is we'll go. We have to do a key pressed dot contains key, unfortunately for now. So we need to check whether 38 exists. And sorry, but 38 is not a string, it's actually an integer. Change these to integers. So I'm going to change this dictionary to integers. Okay, continue. Then we'll check if it exists first, then we can use it. Check if it exists, then we can use it. Alright, let's try that. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll press up, and there you go. Now the issue with this is it keeps moving. It doesn't go do it once because this is always true. There's nothing in here that sets it back to false. So really what I should do is add in a event, key up event, that will register the key code to false. It will register it to false. And you'll see that there's another issue here. So so now if I do that, it will when I let go of the key, it will go false and it only move once. See how it moves once? But then it crashes. Now the reason for the crash is it's trying to add key code again into this thing. And it's already added it in, so it crashes. So really we should only add it. We should only add it if, just like before, if key pressed contains the key. contains this key code. So only if it contains the key code, because we want to add it once, and every other time we just want to update it. Key code. Right. So we only want to add this once. So if it contains the key, we don't want to add it anymore. If it doesn't contain the key else, then we add it. If it contains the key, we just want to update the value. So we go key press e.keycode equals to true. We just want to update it, right? Just make sure it's updated there. Okay. And we want to basically do the same thing. Now, did I set it to false here? We set it to true, false. We update to false. We want to do the same thing here. The only difference is this is either setting it to true or adding a new entry in that for the key code that doesn't exist in the actual dictionary to be true. All right, and guess what? This is pretty much it. I just need to set this up for the key down and key ups, and I now only need to use my key press dictionary to check whether a certain key code is true or false, and that tells me whether I'm holding down the button or release the button. Because when I hold down the button, it'll be true, and when I release the button, it'll be false. So now, in some ways, I don't need to touch this anymore. I can collapse these, and we're good to go, right? See these things? I can collapse these, and we're good to go. Now I'm just going to test it before we're good to go. So press up. So there you go. Hold it. Press it once or twice. Up. See that? Anyway, that fade is getting a bit annoying. I'll just get rid of it. Now I'll press up. Now it goes the other way, sorry. But anyway, I press the button, hold it, let go. Hold it, let go. So that's perfect. That's just the way I like my games to work. All right, so so we don't need this anymore. And we've set up our key down and key up, and we now have the ability to check a certain particular key and see if it's true, and then we can make this thing move. All right. So that's pretty much how we do that. If you want one where it keeps moving and you want to set this to be false, you can get rid of this whole thing. So that if you get rid of all of this, say, it will work like this. So if I press the button, it'll keep moving, and I press another button, it'll keep moving. So it kind of sticks because false never gets registered. So if you want that kind of action in your game where it keeps moving until you press a button, then you can turn these things off. You don't have to have the key up at all. Let's have a look at our time. We've got a few minutes left. The one thing that I will probably want to allude you to is every time we have to check a key, we have to keep checking whether it exists in this dictionary, and that's kind of the pain of using a dictionary. So we could create a little bit of a function for ourselves that kind of does this for us, right? Does this for us, and then kind of abstracts from this. I haven't quite thought exactly on how I'd like to do it to kind of simplify it. So we'll figure that out in the next video.